Hooray! Live chat. Get that going and all of that nonsense. And I feel like, yeah, the computer's off, so I gotta turn it on because I need to put some notes into my records because it's one of those things. I'm slightly early for this, so I probably have people who aren't quite coming in yet. And I know we scheduled the live for yesterday, but your girl was behind. I was behind this morning too. I'm just perpetually behind, but I didn't get home from getting stuff ready yesterday till like 9 p.m. So the live just wasn't going to happen yesterday. Especially getting ready for this show today, which show we'll talk about here in a second went fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, just trying to get this set up. Danny will be on in a moment. He's playing competitive right now, so he's slightly busy. Girl, I already squealed with excitement when I saw the notification. Literally perfect. Heck yeah! I'm glad. And how is everybody doing with the email you sent me, my dear? I say, we're always like ships in the wind. We're always passing, never on schedule together. So I am very excited to see you. Was just about to ask about show. We're gonna talk about show. We're gonna talk about show. I had some judges I loved. I have some judges I didn't like quite as much. There's nothing wrong with them. I just didn't like necessarily their style. But yeah, I have all the notes on my phone too. So, and there'll be a full video. Like I'll put out a full length video on the YouTube, kind of going over everything that happened. And it's like, oh, pardon me. I did get a lot of footage for today, so a lot of in-person footage, and yeah, it was fun. It was good. If y'all follow me on like either the Facebook or the TikTok, you ought have seen that Anastasia, did you take your blue-eyed? Yes, I did take the blue-eyed white. But Anastasia got best of breed. We went to both best of shows. She didn't place best of shows, but that's not surprising considering she's a junior up against senior animals. But our hard judge today, oh my, so he destroyed everything I had on the table. He destroyed everything everyone had on the table. Then I wouldn't say the man was mean. He was just very forward in how he felt about things, right? I put that dough on the table. He looks at that dough. He puts his hands on her, and he didn't say anything for a quick minute. And I'm like, he really doesn't like her. He's like saving things to say. And he was playing with her fur. He was blowing into her fur, and he was like really looking at her. And he goes, I really like this dough. This is a really nice dough. He goes, this is a junior? And I'm like, yeah, she's about 3 months. And he goes, she's 3 months old? And I said, yeah, she is. And he's like, gosh darn, she's a nice dough. And he looks at her again. He goes, I'm being picky. You can move her high point back slightly. He's like, she slopes off a bit on the hind end, but that's a really nice. He goes, she's so wide. He's like, she's so deep. And he goes, 3 months old? I'm like, yeah, she's 3 months old. He's like, I like this dough. I'm like, the hard judge liked my dough. So that was great, especially considering the fact he tore my Mini Rex part, which I put babies on the table. They're like 2.5 months old. That caster should have been DQ'd from both shows, but no one weighed her, so I got away with it. They were babies. I was just trying to get them table time. The second judge was like, oh, they're babies. I can see this, with the fur coming in. Here's the things I like about them. Here are the things that are growing in. The hard judge looked at my caster and he goes, I don't like this animal. I'm like, yeah, she's a baby. He goes, I can tell. He's like, her coat's crappy. He's like, she's double coated. It's so soft. It's not coming in right. He goes, I don't like this animal. And then he looks at my boo, kind of looks her up. He goes, it's not the worst boo I've seen. And I'm like, I'll take that as a compliment. And then afterwards, I asked him about the caster. I'm like, okay, what do you think about her ring color and everything? He goes, oh, I don't like it. She's too lemony. It's really crappy. I'm like, well, what about the division of color? I know my lines are lemony, but what about my division of color? How are my rings looking? He's like, the rings are fine. I don't like her color. I'm like, I'll take it. I'll take it. I might be a bit of a masochist. I like when the judges are tough because it shows me things I need to improve on. And the fact that he said it's not the worst boo he's ever seen with how tough he was being on everyone, I'll take it. I will take that. Especially he took a look at a couple of my silver foxes. He tore Hera up. Hey, Rune. Oh, he tore Hera up. Hera got 12 out of 12 on Junior Does. Hera's going in the stew pot is what I think is going to happen with that. But he looked at Thin Ice, and she got, hey, how are you doing, FR? Thin Ice got 2 out of 12, and then Hades got 3 out of 12. So I'm not going to keep Hera, I don't think, because even in the second show, Hades, they dropped him down to 6th. And that's because they were looking at something different compared to the first judge, but I'll take it. And like I said, Thin Ice was in 2nd place. So with that, Hades I'm going to keep for a breeding buck. And I talked to Kara about it because Kara also said I could use some. So far, so good. Seen a couple sneezes, but no more losses yet. My rabbit tree is currently demolished, and I've had multiple people come help. Just my sanity. Nobody wants to come out this heat, so I'm on my own. I'm sorry, darling. If you were closer. Oh! Blessed with pets. Blessed with pets. April. I need to live closer. If we live closer, I can help you out with this more. But April. Angora and Tan Nationals are going to be in Alexandria. It's going to be a big show for you. So look in April in Alexandria. They're going to have a huge show. I was talking to my Mini Rex buddy about it. Also, my judge was from Louisiana. The hard judge was from Louisiana. Hello, Rick. Every time I get on this live. But yeah, so show went well today. They tore my Mini Rex up, but there's nothing new there when I throw babies on the table. I didn't expect anything out of those babies. And I was sitting with the Mini Rex Club, and I was talking, I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to be here. I threw some babies on the table. Glad he's somewhat like the Boo. The Boo does not have a name yet. The baby Boo doesn't have a name. She's out of my angel line, so I don't know if I want to go with that, or if I want to go with Flowers, because Daisy's the mom, and Lily is my other blue-eyed white. So we'll see how that all goes. But yeah, and then I traded my friend. She took a couple of my champagne bucks to put in the freezer. Thin Ice came back because her and Thin Ice don't get along, and it's out of my one line, Danny, and I don't know if it's the trainer or what, but that line just does not go on in her barn, so she's back in quarantine. And then I'm holding a doe for her to grow out because I have some extra cage space for her. So I have 2 new does in quarantine. One is mine, but the other one's out of her lines. So I'm growing those 2 out. I'll probably introduce them on the TikTok here in a couple of days. So we will see. Is Danny running late? Danny's running late. It's okay. He will be here, I promise. Hello, Pickle Rick. I will be right back. I'm going to go get him something to play with. That way he's not screaming at least for the next few minutes. He always thinks that he needs to sit here and scream when I'm on lives because he thinks it's fun. And it is one of the most annoying things. Think you're starving? Here you go, starving. Starving Marvin. Throw that puzzle toy in there. Because at least then he'll be shushied just a little bit. Just a wee bit. Alright, here we are. Alright, didn't miss anything. But yeah. So yeah, so here's the thing, right? When you're raising blue-eyed whites, especially when you're serious about raising them, you have a couple of sides of the spectrum. You have the judges that tolerate them and the judges that absolutely hate the blue-eyed whites. So when I throw a baby like a blue-eyed white on, and it's a judge that's really strict and one who isn't really feeling it, right? And they look at the blue-eyed white and they don't completely demolish it, I feel good about that. He's like, oh, it's not the worst I've seen. You've seen worse then. Okay, perfect. Now, he was, like I said, he was from Louisiana, so that could be a bless your heart moment. But I will say the second judge was playing with her quite a bit. Had her on the table. She's like, oh, this thing is really cute. She goes, it has baby ears. She goes, his ears are too long for his head and it's throwing off his balance, but I can see he has a baby coat. And she's like, how old is this? And I'm like, oh, he's only like 10 weeks old, kind of moment. And she's like, he's just a baby. And then she went over, what was wrong with him, what was good with him. Ooh, I need to go to it. My friend's mom, who's I got some waffle from, since she'll let me know when she's going to a show and I can hop in and bring some rabbits. Check out that April show, Angora Nationals. I don't know which Angoras. I didn't catch which Angoras, but Angora Nationals and Tan Nationals are apparently in April next year in Alexandria. Check the ARBA site. Because I heard that and I like stopped people and I'm like, pause. So check it out. But yeah, I gotta, let's see, breeders. I need to go to, oh, I have something exciting to share with you guys. So Spot, right? That silver fox that I was really liking, that I thought had the white mark on it. I showed Kara. And I'm like, hey, I think this is a white spot. This is out of your lines. I just want you to be aware of it. What do you think? And she looked at it and she said, that's not a white spot. She goes, that looks like an old injury that basically got too far into the skin and it ruined the pigment of the fur because of how long and thin it is. So like mom scratched baby in the nest box kind of moment. And I was like, so Spot is staying for breeding. The other thing Kara did say, she likes everything about her, but to watch her lower hindquarters because she looks slightly pinched. So to keep an eye on that. We'll see about that. So that's exciting. And that is super exciting. Let's see, litters. So Spot, we've been calling her Squeaky because if you pick her up too fast, she squeals until you put her into your chest. And this is a doe I hand raised. Like, this is a doe that's been in my rabbitry forever. And she just squeals like a suckling pig half the time. It's like, girl, are you okay? Are you okay, baby? Like, are you okay? So, that's a little annoying. But, let's see here. Inactive. But I'm excited about that. I need to find Danny. Zeus, Danny. Okay, perfect. Because I gotta bring this baby back. Poseidon, no. This one. Lizzie was a standard. And yes, she is. She's in the freezer. Confirm, unsell. And then I'm going to turn into a breeder. Yes. But yeah, Lizzie's not here anymore. None of the standard Rexes are. I put up my hat when it came to standard Rexes. I butchered out the entire litter. So that's all, that's gone. That's just to make cage space. Right now I have 2, 3. I only have 3 cages open right now. That says a lot for me. I have 3 cages open right now. 4 if you include the one grow out cage I'm gonna fill because I have 2 does that I need to move over. So I'm a little limited on space. And I'm going to, I have the big butcher coming up with the champagnes. I gotta get some silver foxes butchered. I have 5 silver foxes I need to butcher out. So we're looking 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rabbits in the next few weeks I need to butcher out. So let's see, I need 2. I figured, couldn't remember it. Minis, you have Daisy and Lulu. Who else? I love your minis. Oh, thank you. So for the minis, we have Gigi, French Fry, Strawberry are the bucks. And then on the doe side, we have Lulu, Daisy, Boo, Castor, Velma. I'm missing someone. Jelly. And then we have a couple litters. How long do you think I should go before I'm able to bring in the new rabbits? Because I had 4 really nice mini Rex does lined up, and I'm not sure. 30 days. Hi! How are you doing? How is everything? I was just talking about show. My husband's running a wee bit late. He's gaming right now. He's supposed to talk about ancient Rome with me. I reminded him multiple times this week, so he should be in a second. He's just like piddlefooting. Let's see. Edit. Who is this? I need to rename this doe ID. see name. 4 bunnies prego. Oh, heck yeah, we love that. Thin ice. But yeah, we have... And I feel like I'm missing mini Rex. I have other mini Rex. I need to separate by breed. Let me see here. Am I missing? Those are all silver foxes. And then we have the mini Satans. Why is only one mini Rex showing up in my ever breed? That's not right. Yeah, they're so we have the caster, we have the unnamed minis. Okay, so we have the caster, Velma, Daisy, Gigi, Strawberry, Lulu, the Boo. I'm missing somebody. I know I am, and I don't know who. Because I have more than that. I know I do, and it's like, I got a tattoo pen. I haven't used it yet. Heck yeah! What kind of tattoo pen do you get? I'm trying out a new tattoo pen right now. I need to name my caster and my Boo because just using their government names, so to speak. Let's see here. And then I need to work on breeding. Danny is due on Tuesday. Velma is due on Thursday. And tomorrow I need to rebreed Scotch. And I need to decide. Part of me wants to breed Scotch to Butters. All good. Daisy is my fave. Hopefully your sister doesn't take her anytime soon. I'm trying to get her to take her. I am not trying to run a Harlequin tricolor program, although she is doing wonders for my friend's Harlequin tri program. I have 8 babies up here that aren't mine. Wormhole tattoo, I don't know, from Amazon. That sounds familiar. That might be the one I have, to be honest. I hope my sister takes Daisy soon, because right now I'm being overrun by Harlequins and tricolors for my friend's project. I don't need to be raising more babies, and somehow I have more babies that aren't mine. I was telling my friend, I'm like, I hope you're ready here in a few weeks. I have 8 coming down to you for your project. Because, she lives in the suburbs, right? So yeah, she at least gives you plenty of booze. She does give me plenty of booze, but she's in the part of the program where I need to go into the next generation of booze giving me Vienna marks. I'll have to check that pen out. I'm looking right now for one. Yeah, I'll have to check and verify, Rune, to see if that's actually what I use, but I think it is. And it's out in the car, so I'm not gonna go out and look. I breed 4 does 8 days ago, so I'm hoping some are prego. 2 of them only had 1 fall off, so I'm not too sure. I think I'll call the quarantine after the babies are a week or 2 old. I wouldn't call the quarantine until you're 30 days out. Just because the RHV2 scare is real. It's real. I just totally missed my mouth. What is with my hand-eye? Hand-eye coordination. Jesus freaking Christ. That was gross. But no. I need to figure out what I'm doing. So the big thing tomorrow, other than cleaning my barn and sanitizing all of my cages, so I have a bunch of animals in quarantine right now. I need to go through them. Junior Budo that just passed away was named Snow. I'm sorry you lost Snow, darling. That really does suck. Especially I know you were really into your boo. So I know that really sucks. And if you were closer, I'd throw a lily at you. But, no, my goal for tomorrow is, well, that would be more than 30 days. Okay, perfect. As long as it's 30 days or more, you're good. My goal for tomorrow, I need to finish cleaning. I dumped most of the pans. I gotta go get my bleach water out there. I need to go wipe down cages. I need to go verify everything's good. That really sucks. Blessed with pets. Sorry about your boo. Yeah, she's going through a hard time right now. But I need to, get that done. And then I'm gonna go through my champagne culls. So, a couple of things I was talking about with Cara today was with the Bloin and how she kind of chooses the baby she keeps. and snipiness of face. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go compare how snipey things look compared to how thin their face is. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna check to see if my husband is coming over here anytime soon because he's supposed to be over here talking to me about ancient Rome and the bunnies. Babe. Hi. Baby. Rome. Rome. No, you said talk about ancient Rome. I'm on it right now. Come on. Thank you. All right, I am back. He's finishing his match. Hi, Nanas. All right, perfect. But yeah, so that's the goal for tomorrow is to go through everything. I'm gonna make some notes. I got some rabbit spread. So that's the goal for tomorrow and everything I'm doing. And hopefully everything's good. And then I need to go to litters. Love the t-shirt. Thank you. I got this t-shirt at a raffle 2 shows ago, and it is officially my show shirt. Her curls right now, I keep putting a little band in her hair to keep her bangs out of her eyes. She always tears it out. And right now, this is like 2-day-old hair. So, oh, don't growl at me, young lady. So right now, this is 2-day-old hair. So her curls are normally much tighter. Don't growl at me. Much tighter. So right now, they're very loose and just poofy. So I really need to spray them down with her little, like, hairspray. It's not like an actual spray, but it's almost like a oil thing. What? Oh, don't let her hear you say that. She is ornery. She's so ornery. She earlier was feeding my rabbit pellets to the dogs and putting them in her mouth, like eating them. She goes, "I'm a bunny." And it's like, no, baby, you're not a bunny. No, 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 you're not. You're not a little bunny. Yeah, no. So yeah, so that's what she's been up to. Thank you, baby. We're excited to hear about it. About ancient Rome. You know, the thing we said we'd talk about? She is 2. So, my nephew only ate his food in a dish off the floor for days when he was a puppy. I get it. I try to tell her that all the time, but she's either like, I'm a puppy or I'm a bunny, and it's like, baby girl, no. No, baby girl. What? Yeah, they're a fish. There's a fish. So I need to mark. Yes, so the goal is to breed Lulu back to one of her babies. Sell. Choose Casey. Marker sold. Confirm. So that's the goal, is to breed her back to get the same color. But I have to so here's the thing, right? Lulu's only a year old. So I'm not in a rush to breed her back to one of her children. And I could breed her back to Gigi if I wanted the color that bad. My thing is I need to make sure I'm not breeding her back to a son that has the same faults as she does. You never breed the rabbit with the same faults back to a rabbit with the same faults. So that's the biggest thing, is I gotta like the thing that she produces enough to breed it back to her. So right now I have a little tricolor in that litter, and I have a castor in that litter. I like the castor right now, but the castor's only 5 weeks old. So it could definitely be fixed. There's some things that could be using some fixing on it. So we will just see. We'll see. You went down? That's daddy, no, that's daddy. All right. You want to grab a chair? All right. That way you have a place too. Go get daddy. There you go, baby girl. He is stalling. He's very social once you get him on camera, but getting him on camera is the challenge. Y'all wouldn't believe it, but Danny does get to be a little chatterbox sometimes. You good? No, you're good. You want to grab the baby real quick? All right, thank you. I found someone an hour and a half for me with amazing mini Rex. I'm getting a black orange Harlequin, broken red, solid chocolate, all dose. He's so nice enough to keep them for me till after my quarantine. That's amazing. I'm glad you found someone. Come here. It's okay. There. You want to be a part of this? Danny is back. We finally got him on live since he was playing his.
No, not only that. I've been studying a lot on my calculus exam. I'm trying to do a placement for my engineering degree, so that's why I've been
AFK?
Yeah.
AFK.
AFK.
AFK. No, I don't. I've never heard that term.
So, where are we at? I know, what's his name? The history of bunnies.
Yeah, Rune.
Cultivation.
Yeah. Cuniculture!
All right,
We were talking about ancient Rome.
So a lot of people think that, rabbits were domesticated in the French time frame of 600 AD, but actually it wasn't. It was a little bit more south of it. It was in Spain.
You want to go grab my headphones off the table so you can put the other one in because they can't hear you? All right, Danny is grabbing my other headphone because it's connecting to my headphones right now. It should be on the table, babe. He's grabbing it. He's coming right back. They should be over either on the table or near there. Huh? No, who is that? It's Papa. Yeah. Papa, yeah. They're over there somewhere, babe. They're on the island? All right, perfect. It's Papa and you. Ew. Rude. All right, did it actually, did it do the little blink?
Yeah.
You want to do a little testy? I don't know. I don't know.
Well, can you hear me?
Say sometimes there's like a bit of a delay between the chat. I need $1 million. Everyone needs $1 million. Everyone.
You guys hear me?
I say he has my other headphone in, so hopefully y'all can actually hear him now. Like I said, normally there's like a delay in the chat. A little bit now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you just need to talk louder because I'm just loud.
Okay. Well, so where are we at? What was she talking about?
Well, I was talking about show. But we're supposed to be talking about cuniculture in ancient Rome.
So rabbits. Let's talk about rabbits, right? French, they were in a famine in 1690.
Oh, they want you to scoot closer to me.
We're close enough.
Oh, you don't want to be closer to me?
Oh gosh.
You want to be closer to me? You don't like
close. Yeah. So in 680, the French went to a famine, like they always do, and it is believed until recently in 2008, a study that was founded, rabbits were actually cultivized around 1000 AD in the southern hemisphere, or on the southern side near Spain. And that is what the soldiers were doing in order to eat. And what they were doing was they figured out that, like, oh, they produce, it takes less amount of time.
See, it's better when I do this.
Good, better. It takes less amount of time to feed the soldiers because they have a lot of problems with distribution. with
Well, also when you look at the fact that ancient Rome was doing the whole like let's conquer. Ignore the numbers. Here's the thing, right? They're gonna pop up and down. A lot of times it has nothing to do with us and everything to do with connection on somebody else's end.
That's okay.
So a lot of times when you were looking at ancient Rome, the biggest thing was they were what was it? Conquering other countries, and they had such a wide range when it came to their empire that it was really hard to get those wide range of supplies. But when we look at domestication of farm animals and easy to move animals, we look at things like chickens, pigeons, rabbits. And the biggest thing that I found the most interesting when it comes to cuniculture, which is the domestication of rabbits, is the fact that we kind of see a parallel between the whole idea of colony setup, singulation setup, in that when we look at, they start off in stone pens when it comes to colony setups. And they actually started domesticating them in single pens. And the theory behind this was they were also realizing that keeping them in a colony setup, which was more natural, was still more detrimental when they looked at numbers.
Yeah, that's the. Well, they brought them over here after the Europeans figured out that they could actually.
She's under there. She's fine. You're paying attention to the nut. All right, we're down to 3 people, so Danny has decided to be shy. Bye, baby. All right, bye. If I wasn't worried about showing or pedigrees, I would so do a colony setup. So the problem with colony setups, and it has more to do with pedigrees, right? We worry more about diseases. We worry more about injuries. We worry more about mortality, both on the end of kits and when it comes to adults. So when it comes down to it, hey, babe, Blessed with Pets says she identifies as 20 people, so therefore we have more than ever. He's not coming back. Jeez. You gotta not worry about the people, babe. At some point, you just talk to yourself, and that's okay. And Rune says he's at least 32. So we're like at 52 people in here.
I was about to.
Oh, Danny's shy now. My pretty face. I don't know whether you're being sarcastic or nice. Oh, you're being sweet? Okay. Yeah, Danny has disappeared. I can still talk about ancient Rome, but oh well. He's playing shy now. But yeah, when it comes to a colony setup, you know, it's one of those things where it's not the best idea just because of the risks that are associated with it. In theory, we love colony setups because they're more natural because rabbits are social animals. But when we really get down to it, it just raises so many risks. So yeah, that's a lot of the problem we see when it comes to like colony setups, which is why you see a lot of breeders do single rabbit setups or they do pairings with grow outs and then separate them as they get older. This is another thing. I was talking to Kara, and I talk about Kara a lot just because I idolize her because she's doing amazing things, and she also has some really great advice, and I hang on to her every word. In theory, could one breed towards a colony-focused temperament, though? You could, but you're still going to see a larger mortality rate, disease rate, and aggression rate in injuries in a colony setup compared to singular cages. You can breed it to be better, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get those problems. Let's see, breeders. I'm adding notes. So to our who's it? For today's show stuff. Because oh my goodness. Yeah, backups. Let's see here. Let's see here. Show record, registration number, champion number, documents, weight, photo. Where are my notes? Her mother was hot tamale. Hey! Oh, get back here, cutie. Danny is hiding in the corner. I thought I had predict. There's a predict button? Oh, okay. Cages are just way more functional. There is a new predict button on the on Everbreed. Now I need to play with this. I'm gonna hit strawberry. I'm excited. So I'm gonna hit strawberry, and we go to options, edit, predict. So we're gonna I just had a visit from the sex change fairy on my Flemish Giant, and now I'm wondering how big is the size difference, and it's too much. As long as the doe is bigger than the buck, it doesn't matter. The doe has to be bigger than the buck. Now when it comes to the buck and doe, if your buck is bigger than your doe, a couple of ounces of course don't matter. But if you're breeding like a Bretagne Petite to a Flemish Giant and the petite is the doe, you're gonna have problems. Let's see, buck. I am going to throw strawberry in there. Genotype not found. Okay, I need to go add the genotype to strawberry. Let me see here. Color broken black. Broken black. Okay. How do I add the genotype? History and lineage. I found it. So, he is a black-based rabbit. He is black-based. Let me see here. No Vienna. I can't seem to, so, alright, so right now I'm on the A genotype, right? A is split into 3 genotypes. So we have our agouti, we have our otter, we have our self. So A has to do with hair shaft pattern. So the agouti are the ones with rings, your castors, your chinchillas, your opals, those kind of things. They are the ringed rabbits. B is black versus chocolate varieties. So strawberry is a black, blank. We have no white ears. I think that's for white ears. So that should be WW, not little WW. And then for chinchilla, or rather the C gene, right? We have chinchilla dark, chinchilla light. We have chinchilla. We have albino. We have Madison staring off into the distance, not knowing what the heck she wants in life because chinchilla is hard. He is not Dutch. But yeah, the Sea Lotus is not my thing. We can get into it a little more, but when it comes down to it, don't ask me about the C gene. Everything is hard about the chins, Rune. Everything. The C gene is hard. And it all has to do with pigmentation. That's the biggest thing. The C gene has to do with pigmentation, shading, that kind of thing. And there are so many genotypes on the C gene that my brain hurts. Now, D is the dilute gene. So, dilute, right? The dilute of black is blue. The dilute of chocolate is lilac. So, it's that step down, right? And strawberry, I don't think carries dilute. I'll leave it blank though. And then for E, he's definitely, he's produced torts. I think he's little EJ. Not fully, no, so he's like a carrier of EJ, so he should be EEJ. I could totally be screwing the EJ up part though. I gotta look. And then he's broken, so he's EN, but he's not a Charlie, so he's big EN, little EN. Save. Alright. And the reason why I say he doesn't carry dilute is he has never produced a lilac or a blue kit or anything of the variety of that. So when we look at dilutes, right? So castor, is the most dominant. And then from castor, you have opal. So the dilute of castor is opal. And then we get amber. Amber is the chocolate version of castor. And then the lilac or the dilute of the mine just went blank. Amber is lynx. So that's how the black, blue. Danny assumed. Right. I'll tell him you are offended, Blessed with Pets. Don't worry. I will give him a tongue lashing and tell him that he is just being naughty. He's also really so I'm more outgoing than he is, especially with this stuff. So he's a little embarrassed because he starts talking and he assumes himself to be dumb. English is is like not his like main thing. He thinks in Spanish half the time. So when he tries to like quantify things, he has to think it through, and sometimes it makes him like slow to get his point across because he knows what he wants to say, but he isn't quite getting the point like across to people. And as somebody who's been around him for a long time, I know what he's saying and I know what he's trying to across, but sometimes he wants to just like be more direct. Doesn't help he's a chatterbox, but all right, so if I do the genotypes on Lulu. All right, so Lulu is all right, so if I go here to options, edit, and then I go into history lineage, genotype, she is right, and that's what I tell him too, because like I speak Spanish as well as a godforsaken child. Like my Spanish is at like a 5-year-old level. I can carry basic like that. Like he can speak multiple languages as long as they're like romantic languages. He picks them up. He was having like he doesn't know Portuguese, right? Oh, doesn't know. Right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Blessed with Pets. You wouldn't know that like his brain thinks in Spanish half like most of the time. To be honest, we were at a bar one time hanging out like when we were stationed down at Polk, right? And he meets somebody who is from Portugal. And he sat there listening to him for a few minutes, right? And just started speaking Portuguese. And I was like, what? Like, I can barely speak English, right? And that's my only language, really. And he just picked up Portuguese like this. He picked up Italian, I think it was, like that. Like that. He has different dialects of Spanish. Like he sits and listens to people and then he can like tweak any like I said, romantic languages, he's that's what I exactly. Exactly. And the thing is like his accent is like really light. Most of the time you can't hear it. Unless he gets really excited. Except there have been a couple of times where he comes up to me and his accent has been like deep. Like deep. And I'm like, it's like, we back in Cali, baby. But you can't tell, like, if I don't say it, like, if I don't address the fact that he has that, he just sounds like a Californian native. He just sounds like he's from California. But he has such a gift when it comes to languages. Like right now he's learning is it Japanese he's learning or Chinese? He's learning something outside of like the romantic languages. I know he was working on Arabic for a while. But when he took his DLAP score, he got a 5 out of 5. And what that means in the Army, basically, is he can learn any language. And not only can he learn any language, he picks it up so fast. Exactly! Like, I have been working on my Spanish now for almost 5 years, and I can speak as well as a 5-year-old. And it gets me so upset because I'm like, I want to be so much better at these languages, and you're just so good at them, and you're so gifted at them. And he's like, no, not really. And it's like, dude, shut up. Like, respectfully, of course. I'm like, just shut up, you dork. But he does so well on languages, and the thing is, like, I get really jealous because, like, he'll do, like, he has this, like, language teaching program, and when he was learning, Arabic, like, he was trying to explain to me, like, the dialect and how things work and how he can translate in his head from a romantic language to an Arabic language, and I'm just sitting here like, "I have no idea what you're talking about. I can barely roll my R's." So, no, he is definitely gifted when it comes to those things, and he is a dorkfish. The biggest dorkfish. But god, do I love that dorkfish. Alright. Shut up, you dork. Most respectful statement. I say less respectful things when it's just me and him. I feel like it too, because the thing is like, he picks up things so easy and so quickly, and it's just so I can't even speak English right now. I can't even say the word. It's just so amazing to watch him, and I am just in awe of how well he does with languages. And it's one of those things where it's just like, but it is what it is. Like, he doesn't feel the most comfortable, and, that's okay. No. No bless with that. That ain't happening. Um, so I have 2 children I love very dearly. My children are extremely different. Um, Mother Nature tricked me with my first child. My first child is my angel baby. She's very self-sufficient, she's very clean, she's very, like, take care of herself. She's very quiet. She's very smart, easygoing. Her teachers constantly are just talking about how kind, helpful, respectful, easy she is, right? Now, that's kind of the definition of a wet blanket. I can't say she is my exciting child, but she is my angel baby. And oh my goodness, and she's my drama kid, right? So she loves the arts, she loves music, she loves dance. Love it. We went to go watch her first musical together. We went to go watch Anastasia. Fell asleep halfway through, but the first half she was enthralled. Baby girl was just up past her bedtime. I gotta take her to another one. She had so much fun. I'm gonna put her into a musical here probably this fall. They have like junior musicals around here. She's gonna love it. Mother Nature tricked me. I thought all my children are gonna be like that. My child number 2 is a wild child. I don't sleep. She is very hands-on or else she gets into things. She's the sports baby. Everything is about sports. She loves horseback riding. She loves riding the goat. She loves playing soccer. Go, 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 go. Very different from my first child. She is my farm baby. So much fun to be around. She is the fun child. She makes me want to pull my hair out. So I have the one child that's easy to handle and is like good to go, and I have the child that's so out there. So I have very 2 different personalities. I love them each for their different pros and cons and qualities. They have different things I love to do with them. I can't handle more than 2. I cannot, because here's what's gonna happen. I'd have a third. I would neglect my first child if I had a third because she's too easy. I wouldn't spend the time with her because it's so easy for her to just do her own thing and me to not be as hands-on. So right now, with having 2 children, I can evenly devise my time. I can throw the youngest at her dad. I can spend quality time with my eldest. We can work on her dance stuff. We can work on her homework. We can chill. We can play with her mini Rex because she also shows mini Rex. And then, if I want to spend time with my youngest, I throw the eldest at her dad, and between the 2 of us, we make sure that they have good, rounded, quality time where we can develop their wants and their needs, and we can take care of them. I can't do that with a third child. I am done with children. 2 is perfect. 2 is fantastic. I can't do more than 2. Plus, also in this economy, it's so hard to afford to feed children. And to do all of the activities I wanna do and all the shows I wanna do and just be with them. So, I'm definitely done at 2, which is fine. It works perfectly because I get to have that quality time with both of them, and then they also have a playmate. so they get to play with each other. They love each other so much. My youngest will go around the house going, Sydney, Sydney, where's my sissy? And she'll just go around like yelling for her older sister, and it's just the cutest thing. So they work really well together. They get along really well. And as somebody who came from a family with 3 girls, I can tell you having 3 is horrible because there's always going to be like the odd one out. So I'd have to have 4. And I can't do that. I get that. Right. And the thing is like I'm 26, right? I have 2 beautiful children. I'm 26. I'm going to enjoy my 40s. I'm going to enjoy my 40s. They're going to be off at college. They're going to be going doing amazing things. If I had another baby, like if I got pregnant right now, right? Baby's going to be born in about 9 months. I'm going to be 27, 28. There's going to be that gap in between my youngest and my middle child, and then a huge gap between my eldest and my youngest because Nana's and Sydney are 4 years apart. I'm telling you, Blessed with Pets, Mother Nature's going to trick you. It's going to be your second kid because here's the thing. I've noticed in my family, at least, it's always the second child that's the wild child. I don't know why my mother had a 3rd child. Oh, don't get me wrong. I love my middle sister very much. Her name is Janelle. She's fantastic. I love her as an adult. She's doing fantastic in life. She's a house. She has multiple jobs. She is living her best life. I'm so proud of her. She has a little garden she's doing in the middle of the city. Like, I'm trying to get her into rabbits. It's probably never going to happen. She's doing fantastic, right? Her nickname growing up was Whirlwind. She was an all-A student, but she was nuts. She was like hyperactive. Go, 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 go. I don't know why my mom had another child after that. Now, she did say her 3rd child was her easiest child. And I take no offense to that. I was called the spew baby because they tried me on like 6 different formulas and I was just like all over the place. So I get that. I wasn't the easy baby. Janelle wasn't the easy baby. Janelle was whirlwind. She just kept going and going and going. And Nikki, my youngest, was like, I'm gonna eat my bottle and go to sleep for 12 hours. So my mom got lucky with 3 girls. She got so lucky. I don't know. My mother-in-law had 5 kids. I don't know how she did that. Especially after you meet my husband, who is child number 2. He's child number 2. He nuts. And after the stories he's told me about his nonsense, I don't know why she had more kids. I don't know. No, thank you. No, thank you. Hey, Dylan. My parents are in their 40s, and my youngest brother's 18, and my oldest brother. See, bless your parents. Bless your parents and their stamina and their ability to keep going. They are more agile than I am, and they are doing better in their stamina than I am because at 27, I can't have more children. I cannot do it. I am done. I'm done. I'm just getting to the point where I can sleep in slightly on Saturdays. I say sleep in. Instead of getting up at like 5, I get up at 7. It's fantastic. And the thing is, the baby still gets up, right? I hear her at like 6, and she's talking to herself in her crib. And I'm like, okay, she's not crying. She's self-soothing. She's good. I'm going to take another hour. And then I just wait for the sun to come up. I'm getting to that point. My 6-year-old now is to the point where she's a little teenager. If she has her days off, she'll sleep until 10 if you let her. And during like the weekdays, she gets herself up. She gets herself dressed. She brushes her teeth. She brushes her hair. And by the time she does that, I'm up and I'm feeding her breakfast. But she's pretty self-sufficient. And if she's not up by a certain time, I poke her a couple of times. She's up and good to go. I am so happy at this point. I have 5 siblings, but to be honest, a lot of the slack gets put on me, and I'm not complaining. It's just hard sometimes. It definitely is, and I've heard that in a lot of like large families. And it's just not something like I used to think I wanted like 7 kids, right? When my eldest was an itty bitty, I was like, I'd love to have like a huge family of just children that are, easy to handle, like my eldest. She's just such an easy child. She does everything basically on her own, and then I'm just there to guide her, to check her, to just push her in the right direction and just parent. And then the other one gets super, like, you basically hold her up by her ankle and hope that she's just not screaming too much. Like, that's the feral. Like, have you ever seen the Croods? Like, Sandy? Yeah. So, like, my youngest is like the Sandy baby off of the Croods. It's entertaining. She's hilarious. But, whew, she keeps me on my toes. She keeps me busy. I will say that it will be interesting as she gets older to see what her interests lie in. I think she's going to be, like, really big at the sports. I never thought I'd want one. So, my sisters, so my middle sister, because I'm the eldest. My middle sister is at the point where, hey, Fly High. So my middle sister's at the point where she doesn't know if she wants kids. She's 24. At 24, I was pregnant with my second. Not gonna lie, I was pregnant with my second child at 24. I might have had her already, actually. So at 24, I had 2 children. And I was settled in life. And she's sitting here. She's like, I don't have a boyfriend. I'm 33. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has a family at their own pace. And some people do really well having children very young. Some people want to wait a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. But she's 24. She's just getting settled in her career. She doesn't have a boyfriend. And she has her house. She has her cats. And she really loves the idea of basically having rent-a-children, in that if she wants to have baby time, she borrows my children, and then she can continue having her life. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's not that she's completely opposed to the idea of children in the future. She just wants to be in the right position. And if she doesn't want to have children, that is what it is. I see her not having children in the future, at least not the near future, and we'll see how she goes. My youngest sister, still in college. She's not looking at having children anytime soon. She wants children. She's mentioned if it happens in the future, it happens, but she doesn't want them now. If she has them, fine. All I want is my mother to stop bothering me about that. My mother keeps asking me when I'm going to have a third baby. I told her to bug my sisters about it because I'm sick of hearing it because it's not happening for me. She needs to bug my sisters. She needs to bug my sisters. Or she needs to go adopt her own baby. That's all she needs to do, adopt her own baby. Because here's the thing, she got my grandpa in on it too now. My grandpa looked at my middle sister and goes, aren't you a little old to start having kids? I said, Grandpa, it's not the 1950s anymore. People have babies up into their 40s. It's okay. Grandpa, knock it off. I had to tell my eldest. She looked at my sister. They were on FaceTime and she goes, Aunt Nell, aren't you a little old to not have a boyfriend? I was like, it's like, young lady, no ma'am. You can foster. Exactly, you can foster. Now, I will say we looked at fostering and we were denied on the fact that we were veterans and it was not a stable enough environment when I was looking at doing it because Danny was still in, I was out, and we got denied by the state of Colorado saying that we weren't stable enough as a family for fostering, which was annoying. Now, have I tried since then? No. I haven't because I don't want to put all the money and the time into becoming a foster parent to get denied for it again over something so silly. Because I've talked to other vets and they've been denied for the fact that they were vets because it's not a stable enough home even though you're vets. We foster and our foster baby's mom is pregnant and keep telling my mom don't even think about it. Yeah, like at least in our state they have some really weird little like things. We've been told we're not stable enough for the fact that we're so young. They told me that I could maybe do it with, like, younger children, but they highly advise with, like, teenagers. That seems odd. I can see if you were being moved around, that'd be hard, but just having been in the service shouldn't be effective. That's what I thought too, and we might try again when the kids are out of the house, but for now, it's a no. Just because it's like I mean, I put time into it, and, like, Danny was still in, I was out, and this was before we had Nana, so we only had 1 child, and we had an extra room, and we were like, we would love to bring in, teenagers or, like, 10 and up so that because a lot of people, they want, like, 10 and under, and we were like, "We can provide a safe landing area for teenagers, it'll be great." We can have, multiple children, we can set it up to where they have their own space. Like, even now, I have a 5-bedroom house, right? And the girls either sleep with us or they sleep together. Like, my thing with people waiting to have kids is you end up being 65 at the 50. See, here's the thing, right? Um, my parents are completely different parents for me compared to my youngest sister. Like, my parents were very harsh with me. My parents were very reactive with me. I wish my parents would have been the parents that they were for my and this is not saying that I don't love my parents. I love my parents. They are fantastic. Watching them parent my youngest sister compared to how they parent me, I am jealous of my younger sister. Because even though they had the stamina to keep up with young children when they were young, they didn't have the emotional fortitude. They didn't have the emotional maturity. There was a lot of mistakes they made that, like, could have been avoided if they were older. So there's definitely pros and cons to every age because not every adult is emotionally mature enough to have children at a young age. I hear you. I'm the eldest of 3. I am also the eldest of 3, so we can, like, commiserate. Young teens are the ones really struggling to find foster homes. Yeah, they are. My parents are to be 60 before all their kids are adults. Yep. It really sucks you're not able to, not babies ourselves before we're expected to start. Exactly. Your brain doesn't, like, fully develop in most instances till, like, you're what, 25? But people expect you to be married and having kids, like, in your mid-20s, like, normally, like, 21, 22, 23. And it's like, you don't even know yourself at that point, and they want you to pop out tiny humans. Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And the thing is like, I know as, like, a younger mom, like I said, I'm 26. I had Sydney when I was 20. And, I've done a lot of growth, from then until now. And the thing is I've never been like, I'm a very, like, gentle parent in general, but that doesn't mean, like, I'm necessarily permissive. But there are still times when I look back and I wish I had more emotional maturity to raise my first child. There is, like, there are some instances I look back and I'm like, "I could have handled that situation better." I still feel that way with this one. There are instances I look at with her and I'm like, "Oh, I wish I would have handled that a bit better." Like, it's not that I'm doing anything wrong, but it's like, you look back, it's like, I could have done something different. Like, we're almost potty training this one, and it's yeah, frustrating. There's a 17-year-old YouTuber with a 2-year-old, and she's pregnant. Jeez. I can't imagine. I really can't. Because here's the thing, right? I have a very, like, laid back, mellow personality, especially when it comes to kids, right? Um, yeah, like, these guys can be, like, screaming their heads off, being nuisances, and it's just like, "Oh, well, they're babies." I can't imagine you see a lot of people, they're very hot-headed, they're very reactive. And it's just because they aren't at that, like, emotional maturity level. And, that's not necessarily their fault. Again, your brain doesn't stop developing until you're like 25, 26. So, you have these situations. But again, like you were saying earlier, we're expected to have children so young. Like, so young. Like, most of us aren't even off on our careers yet. Like, I just got my master's a year ago. And I was running a bit late on it, to be honest. I was running a wee bit late. So, but I got it. Yeah. I feel that. But Nah, there's so many things to consider when it comes to like planning out what you want to do with your life. And again, like if I were to look back on my choices when I was like 19, 20, and have like the knowledge that I do now, I probably would have made different choices, but again, I wouldn't change these little heathens for the world. They are fantastic. I love my little mini me's. And of course, I just talked about how much of a heathen you are, and you're behaving so nicely tearing up the tissue paper. Did you tearing up the tissues? Oh, you're gonna put them on your little feeties? They're on your feet. But I can't get over. So this is my curly haired child, right? Her hair, when it is not curled up, is like down her back and is just getting so long. Oh my goodness. He's just getting so long. I hope she doesn't. My eldest has a thing with scissors. She loves cutting her hair. Loves cutting her hair, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Where's your hairband? No, you don't want it in your hair? Oh, okay. My bad. I apologize. But yeah, I want at least four though. I hope I get married. Here's the thing, right? Four. So the biggest thing, if you're gonna have that many kids, is budgeting, especially nowadays. It's really hard to do all of the things that you want to do with a large family, and I would consider that to be a large family. So if that is something you're looking at, just plan it out. And you might feel differently after you have your first kid or your second kid or your third kid, because at least with me, none of my pregnancies were fun. I hated being pregnant. This one, I think that's the first time I've seen her face. Yeah, she's not, she's just in the background. She is a mini husband. This is Danny incarnate. I spent 8 months developing this. I spent so much time on this. She looks exactly like her father. And yeah, and then also with this one, she decided she was done early, like 6 weeks early. And I was in early labor. I went into labor at like what were you? 32, 33 weeks. And we had to go through the whole like steroid shots and the whole thing to like stop labor, and she was like, "You thought." So she was born early. And when she was born, she was like 5 pounds. She was this big. She was just this petite little thing. We had bought, so she was in like the 90th percentile when they were measuring her. They were estimating she was going to be at least 10 pounds. And so we bought 1 to 3 month clothing. And I went into labor early and I had her early, and she did not fit preemies. She was too small for preemie clothes, and there was nothing wrong with her when she was born, thankfully. So she came out. They had the NICU team on standby. She was breathing on her own. She passed her car seat test. So I had this little itty bitty thing that they said, go home with, have fun. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, just go. This thing right here decided that she was going to be all of the problems. And again, thankfully she was healthy, right? But I had the tiniest little thing come home early, and I was panicking. I was a mess. And yeah, thankfully she has just been tough as nails. But everything is determined on her clock or no clock. She is the boss. Exactly. She literally, and the thing was like before I went into labor and everything, I was gardening, I was feeding, like I was doing all of the farm stuff. All and the thing was is I was less active with this one than my eldest. My eldest, I was still running marathons. And she went to 42, 43 weeks. She was over. I had to be induced with the eldest one. And I was running marathons still. because I was still in the army, I was still running, I was still going. This one I was on bed rest. Drive me nuts. I was not behaving. I was still gardening, I was still feeding. I only took 500 steps a day. They said as long as I was under 500 steps a day, it was considered bed rest. So, yeah, and then not that it really matters because the doctor blatantly said when I was at my last appointment before she was born, she's like, "Yeah, bed rest doesn't really do anything." What? But, you know, it's okay. It's okay. She was born healthy. She is born fantastic. She gives me all of the worries in the world. And she's doing great. She's tearing the tissues out of my tissue packet. And I don't know what she's doing with them. It's gonna be the baby that always keeps me on my toes. This is the one who locked herself in Wiley's cage the other day. The other day, I was feeding, and I just hear her screaming, "Out! Out!" And I look down, and she somehow locked herself in the cage with the rabbit. And it's like, maybe I should just leave you there. It's like, would that be such a bad thing? I'll just leave you there. She is fine. There's nothing wrong with her. The rabbit was just sitting there with her looking for treats. But she somehow, yeah, the treats. She somehow locked herself in a cage. Yeah, this is treats. Yeah, it's the treats. But yeah. A little ornery. My child, my dilute calico cat, Meeps, also loves ripping all the tissues out of the box. So, your cat and my child, it's like the same thing. Let's trade. You can have a child, I can take the cat. It'll be fantastic. I can sleep for a little longer during the weekends. You can have your try at raising children and rearing children. It'll be fantastic. What do you think, Nanas? You want to go bye-byes? No. Go bye-byes? With you what? Oh, you're a stay? I see your foot. Is that your toe? Right. Nah. I think my husband would be a little upset with me if I just handed the child off. He's a little protective over his children. He's like, these are my things. These are my babies. Yeah. Are you sure? You're the baby? Yeah. By the time the cat dies and you get the child back, she'll be useful. You're not wrong. I don't know. Like, I hate the baby phase. I hate the newborn phase. Anything from 2 years old up, I'm okay with. That's the thing. I've told my husband multiple times, if we could just have children at this age and higher and not worry about the baby phase, that'd be good. Some legal technicalities. I feel that. Feel that. The feet. Those are your feet. Those are cute little feet. Can I bite your toes off? That'd be ouse. Okay. Alright, go check my schedule here. So Velma gets a Nestbach in 2 days. And around that time, Danny's supposed to give birth. Yeah, Danny's the bunny. That's just a normal parent thing. I ask her on a constant basis if I can bite her foot. Exactly. I like the sturdy, less like breakable phases too. Now, granted, this little monster likes to like jump off. Oh, can I help you? Oh, okay. Don't bite. No, no bite. No pretending to bite. You cannot have the push pens. That's not a ball. That's a push pen. Ugh, stinky. All right, y'all. I gotta get this one. I love the newborn phase. 2-year-olds are no. I will take 2-year-olds. This phase. Exactly this phase. Look at this. This is adorable. Look at that. This is the perfect phase. See, that's perfect. See, that's fantastic. I'm a booger. Exactly. The energy and the nonsense is just peak. It's perfect. Exactly. See, I would even push it 24 months just because that's when children start understanding that they are not a part of their mothers and that they're separate beings. And I love when they start discovering that they can enjoy other people as much as their like mom. You want to go bye byes? No, you want to stay up here? All right, y'all. I gotta get this little monster to bed. Thank you for hanging out with me and having that 2-minute conversation with Danny. I really appreciate y'all. I gotta get him to understand that the numbers on the screen don't matter. So, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I gotta get to bed, and you'll see that video coming up very soon of how our show went. Yes, yes, she does. All right.